Growing up, I watched monsters in black and white. Not just creatures, but legends. They lived in shadows, they moved slowly, and somehow they felt real. Years later, when I started making films of my own, short films, low-budget films, low-budget short films, those same monsters found their way back. Not as copies, but as influence. And today we take a look at 3 of these monsters. Say hi to the kids.
Oh, hello, children.
Hello, children.
Today we're going to talk about prosthetics.
Whoa.
Before Hollywood gave monsters a face, they already existed in folklore, in myth, in whispered stories passed through generations. What cinema did was bring them to life and make them unforgettable. The first monster that shaped my work was never fully seen. This was inspiration for a character in my short film, Anana Monster. The Phantom, a masked figure haunting the Paris Opera House, disfigured, brilliant, and completely alone. First brought to the screen in 1925 by Lon Chaney, a master of transformation, the Phantom would return again and again, from Robert Englund to Gerard Butler, each version peeling back a different layer of the mask. But the Phantom didn't begin in film. He was born in 1910 from the pages of Gaston Leroux's novel, inspired by real rumors of ghosts and hidden passageways beneath the Paris Opera House. And even deeper than that, he represents something older, the tragic outcast, a figure feared for how he looks, but driven by something painfully human: loneliness, love, rejection. The second monster needed no mask, another influence on the short film Anana Monster: Dracula. The vampire, ancient, elegant, predatory. In 1931, Bela Lugosi defined the role, turning Dracula into something hypnotic, almost charming. Decades later, Gary Oldman would reinterpret him, not just as a monster, but as something tragic, even romantic. Among the many films made about the Gothic figure, you will find a 2013 3D telling of the story. And if you dig deep enough, you will discover the possible birth of the horror comedy genre films in the 1948 Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. They also meet Dracula, the Wolfman, and the Invisible Man. But Dracula's story runs far deeper than cinema. His roots stretch into Eastern European folklore. Stories of the undead rising from graves, feeding on the living. Then, in 1897, an Irish writer who worked as a theater manager, Bram Stoker, gave that fear a name: Dracula. A character shaped by death, disease, and even desire. And behind the fiction, a real figure cast a long shadow: Vlad the Impaler, a ruler whose brutality blurred the line between history and horror. And then there's the monster we created ourselves. This one directly inspired my low-budget horror comedy film, Billy's Got a Bad Brain. Frankenstein's monster. Not born from folklore, but from imagination. In 1818, Mary Shelley wrote a story about a scientist who defied nature and built life from death. She was just 18 years old, and what she created was timeless. The first edition was published anonymously in 1818. It would not be until 1821, when the second edition was published, that Shelley's name first appeared. In 1931, Boris Karloff gave the monster a face, one that would become iconic. The monster would go on to be played by an impressive list of actors, actually, including Christian Bale, Bela Lugosi, Robert De Niro, Jacob Elordi, and one of my favorites, the comedic interpretation performed by the late, great Peter Boyle. The film Young Frankenstein was a brilliant envisioning of the story, or rather, the continuation of the story. But it's not the comedy that keeps us returning to the legend all these years later. Beneath the bolts, beneath the scars, there's something else. Not rage, not evil, confusion, abandonment, a need to be understood. Frankenstein's monster isn't terrifying because of what he is. He's terrifying because of what we are capable of. What happens when humans try to play God? These monsters didn't just shape cinema, they shaped me. They taught me that horror isn't just about fear. It's about humanity, about what we hide, what we create, what we become. So now I want to know, what's your favorite monster? If you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe to keep the story going. Thanks for being here. I'm your host, Tony Gaud. See you next time.